So, how many of us find ourselves, or we hear often, um, when someone is angry, they say, I need to just go take a walk. I need to go take a walk around the block and just cool off." Or when we're feeling stiff and lethargic and lazy, we go, "Maybe I should just go take a walk." Or we're feeling scattered or confused or not sure. I'm saying, maybe I need to take a walk to clear my head. This idea of taking a walk seems to be in just the language that we use day to day, this kind of panacea, this kind of one-stop solution for many, many things, for anger, for feeling heavy in the body or stiff, for feeling sad, for feeling confused. It's like sometimes, somehow, this idea of let me just take a walk seems like it's going to solve it. And that's not random, and that's not wishful thinking. The power of a walk really does do all those things. And I'm sure each and every one of you have experienced that, the before and after of taking a walk. So, this idea of a daily walk in Ayurveda asks us to um, acknowledge that that walk really is doing something for us. And so, in a few ways, we see those benefits of the walk. There's, of course, the physical benefit of the walk. It gets your blood moving. It helps with our digestion. It kind of helps make sure that the healthy digestive process is happening. It gets our breath regulated. We start to breathe deeply again. We can't help but breathe well when we're taking a walk. It balances it gently stretches and moves the body. It's not an excessive exercise, so anyone can do it. And it's highly variable to whatever our physicality level is. So on the level of the body, it gently strengthens and tones our body fully, top to bottom. The full physical body is just invigorated, it's strengthened. All of our joints, our muscles. A regular walking can also help us with our sense of balance because all of our joints and muscles, all our connectivity is regulated and strengthened. So that helps with our balance long term. So there's many physical benefits to taking a walk. Then, of course, these mental benefits. The mind gets cleared. The emotions are processed a bit through that movement. We feel like there's space to, even if there's a lot of people around us, we're kind of in our own rhythm. So there's a meditative quality that's possible with walking. So it has all of these effects on its own. Anybody who just goes out and takes a walk is going to benefit from these things. And with this information that Ayurveda gives us, we're able to even more dial up the positivity of those effects. We can consciously align with the benefits and practices of taking a walk so that it benefits us even more because we have a little bit of knowledge about Ayurveda, about why we're taking a walk, about what we can do on the walk. So, one thing when we're deciding to take a walk, first thing we want to look at is the consistency of the walk. The consistency is really important. I shared those phrases that we often say, and taking a walk seems to be the solution. When we have a consistent walk, we don't have to get to the point where we have to say those phrases to make us take a walk. When we have a regular walk, it's automatically calibrating, it's automatically taking care in so many ways. So the consistency of having a walk is automatically taking care of us on all of those levels. So that also means when we have a consistent time of day or a consistent practice around taking a walk, it makes it less of a question. That mental resistance we have, that questioning, should I, shouldn't I? What's the sun look like outside today? How am I feeling today? Did I walk yesterday? All these question marks, they can just settle down. And we just know But at 4 o'clock, I go for my 20-minute walk and then I come back and move on. So the consistency helps let go of a lot of mental work we have to do, frees us up. And also, when we schedule this time to walk, it becomes kind of a sacred period. We can inform the other people in our household, hey, 4 o'clock, that's when I go for my walk. So I'll be back. So it helps other people adjust to our own schedule when we've committed ourselves to that walk. Everyone else kind of adjusts to us also. So sometimes that's a challenge that a regularly timed walk can help support. Secondly, we can look at the quality of that walk. Now, it's one thing we can just walk out and start walking. That's fine. But if we're conscious about what quality of walk we're having, so if we're taking a walk, but we're checking our phone, but we're listening to a podcast about politics of the day that's getting us feeling angry and worked up. We're taking a walk, but we're having a big emotional conversation with our family about this or that issue happening all around us. That becomes a very rajas dominated kind of walk. And we end up coming back feeling more pumped up and not in a healthy, happy way. So being conscious about how aggressively we're walking also. I have power, walking, I am going, pushing ourselves. We're trying to walk farther today than yesterday, faster than we did before. All of these things are increasing rajas, even though we're taking them. Similarly, we want to look at, is there any tamas building up around the walk? First of all, are we going on the walk? we avoid, procrastinate, this idea of I have to take a walk, but it becomes something we push, procrastinate. Then we feel guilty about later. Then we go on the walk, but we notice I'm kind of dragging my feet. I'm barely walking. I'm stopping all the time. All this kind of thing. Ideally, our walk will be something where we're cultivating the sattva. Sattva is that quality of clarity, harmony, peace, balance, ease. So we want to cultivate that quality by setting that intention for that walk, saying, I'm going to walk and I'm going to just set things aside. This 20-minute walk, if I need to clear my head, the walk is not where I'm going to solve the problem. The walk is where I'm going to clear my head so that when I come back, I'll be in a better, more sattva infused space to solve the problem. So this gift of the walk should be there. So as we leave, we say, I'm giving myself a gift of this 20 minutes to just exhale and inhale, move my body gently. We can look at the way that we're walking. How are my feet meeting the ground? Am I walking in an angry, aggressive way? Am I walking kind of a stumbling, dull way? Or am I, with each step, cultivating this kind of balance? So when we make sattva a focus of our walk, automatically that's dialed up inside of us, that quality. It's also, for these walks, an opportunity to use our senses in a way that brings us in a deep connection with the nature around us. And it can even be inside of the city that this is happening. We don't have to be on a beautiful, idyllic springtime field, although it's wonderful if we can. We can be anywhere. But using our senses. So as we're on this walk, we can say, how am I physically feeling? How's my body feeling right now? We can touch some leaves. We can even touch some stones on the ground. We can run our hands on a rough building if we're in the middle of the city. We can use each sense. What am I seeing right now? Let me bring my gaze higher up than the book I've been reading or the phone I've been looking or the computer I've been sitting at. Let me raise my gaze a little higher and try and see the horizon a bit. Let me raise my gaze even higher. Let me look up at the sky, look up at the branches, look up at the birds. Let me see those clouds. Let me use my eyes in a way of gentle observing. The sounds. What sounds am I hearing? What smells am I smelling? What even tastes. I've heard one of our other Vedic educators, Lakshmi, talk about tasting the salt on your own lips, or eating a little leaf or an edible flower as you're walking, in the taste. And what happens is, Acharya Shunya has explained many times that our senses, interestingly, function only in the present moment. Have you noticed this? Like when you have a memory, it's a memory in the mind, but the senses are touching things in the right now. So you may taste something, or you may hear something, or smell something, and it activates a memory. But when you consciously use the senses, they automatically pull you into the present moment. What am I seeing right now? What am I hearing right now? And when we're in that present moment, that sattva again is increased. That deep settling of thoughts and emotions is settled. And even being in that present moment, that witness that we talk about, that just observing, we become a bit more capable of just being with our own selves. So we can use the senses this way as we're walking to come into the present moment, to simply be while we're walking. And feeling into our own body, feeling into our own breath. So these are some methods that a regular old walk can become something deeply nourishing of the body physically, deeply nourishing of the emotions, clarifying of the mind, and sattva breathing. And we can also look at how we prepare for this walk. How do we, and that means we schedule it. We wake up in the morning and we say, I have many, many things to do today, but I know at 6 p.m. after just before I have my dinner, I'm going to go for that 10-minute round. Or, I know that at 7 a.m. before I have my breakfast, I'm going to take my walk. Something. We've made a little plan for it. We've kept our shoes easily accessible, not in the way back of the cabinet. It's like there, it's easy. So we prepare by removing a little bit of the whatever small resistance we can find. We have our sun hat ready. We have our extra shawl ready. A little bit of preparation makes it easy and seamless to just get out there and take a walk. Maybe we have someone that we walk with. We prepare and ask our neighbor if we can take a walk together. And when we do that, again, preparing by saying, I would love to take a walk with you. Let's also make sure some of our walk, we're just walking in silence. Let's also be quiet. It's great to have the motivation of a friend to walk with, but sometimes also that person wants to gossip about this or tell you all about some soap opera they watched yesterday, or, so that also you have to do some preparation around to make sure it's still serving your overall purpose. And a few final tips. Sometimes people ask, what's the length of the walk? What's the time of the walk? That is up to your convenience, and it's up to your capacity. We say, of course, after each meal in Ayurveda, we say to walk 100 steps. So if you don't have a walking practice at all, that might be a good place to start. Even working kind of up to a 20-minute walk. If you can get a 20-minute walk a day, you're doing good. You're doing good. That's enough time to get into the rhythm of the walk. And the time of day to walk, of course, it's ideal to be able to walk when it's not just the height of sun, because that can also be depleting. That can also be overtaxing on the body. So maybe in the morning, mid-morning, or more towards the afternoon, or even the evening. Yes, and I'm seeing some beautiful shares here. And one final tip is this walk, yes, there's the 100 steps after the meal. But when you have a very full stomach, that's not a great time to go on a long walk. In Ayurveda, we say don't exercise on a full, heavy stomach. So we want to, ideally, it'll be before and with a little gap between meals also, because it disrupts the digestion. There's a lot of work happening in that stomach area, and we don't want to go shaking it up and bringing it all over the neighborhood. So, yeah, that's a good timing for it.